this is Robbie Parker, and I'm going to be joined by Big D from Big D's Entertainment Rankings and Reviews, and we're going to be reviewing the 1995 classic Toy Story. So before we get into my part of the review, I'm going to let Big D do his part. Like I try to let my guest stars always do their parts first and everything. So, take it away, Big D.
Hey everyone, this is the Big D, and I'm going to be collabing with my friend Robbie as we talk about Toy Story from 1995, the film that put Pixar Animation Studios on the map. The film focuses on an old-fashioned full-strength cowboy doll named Woody and a modern space cadet action figure named Buzz Lightyear. As Woody develops jealousy towards Buzz when he becomes their owner, Andy's favorite toy. Now, this was the first entirely computer-animated feature film, and this was really a great experience with seeing this. As I've already said, this was the film that actually put Pixar Animation Studios on the map for the movies, that is. I really liked this film a whole lot because of its great story, its great score, composed by Randy Newman, who of course does the great song You Got a Friend in Me, which that's absolutely really good. And of course it has great characters and a great voice acting cast. Now for the voices, we have Tom Hanks voicing Woody and Tim Allen as Buzz. I gotta say, those two are absolutely what made Toy Story an exceptionally fun-filled film. And I gotta say, good. Other voices include Annie Potts as Little Bo Peep, John Ratzenberger as Ham, Don Rickles as Mr. Potato Head, Wallace Shawn as Rex, and Jim Varney, you may remember from the earliest movies, as the Slinky Dog. To me, I think Toy Story has an exceptionally good atmosphere. I like staying in Andy's room. Pizza Planet was really a cool place, and the inside of the bully who was right next to Andy, Sid. So, evidently, I've seen Toy Story several times, and I think it's one of Disney and Pixar's great films and what have you. It would be followed by a sequel in 1999, and I love that even more, don't get me wrong. But they're believed. So with everything said, Toy Story is awesome, it's great, it's got a great story, great atmosphere, great characters, great voice acting, cast, score, etc, 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 etc. So thank you for making me a part of this, Robbie. Until then, this is the Big D saying see ya, and I look forward to collabing with you on the next Pixar films. Actually, I think all of them. Bye.
Thank you, Big D. It's great to have you on here and everything. I look forward to collabing with you more on this new channel and stuff. It was always fun collabing with you on my old channel, and I look forward to it and everything in the future and stuff. It's always great to have you on here. And I agree, this is an absolute masterpiece. This is not just one of the greatest animated movies of all time, it's just one of the greatest movies of all time in general. It's just a really, really amazing movie. The voice cast are all excellent in here, especially Tom Hanks and Tim Allen as Woody and Buzz. They are some of the best casted animated characters of all time, and they just bring their characters to life really, really well, and have been doing so ever since this movie came out 30 years ago. But they've just been perfect as these characters ever since this movie came out, and I swear they get better with each movie. I love how Woody and Buzz don't get along at first and everything, and Woody is kind of mocking Buzz throughout the whole movie. He's really jealous of him and stuff and everything, but they end up becoming one of the best duos in cinematic history and everything. They're just really lovable characters, and you root for their friendship and stuff, and it just evolves throughout the whole franchise and everything. But their friendship is really, really well done in this movie. Randy Newman's songs and score are fire in here. Everybody talks about how Phil Collins didn't need to go that hard for the Tarzan soundtrack and stuff, but Randy Newman didn't only go hard for this soundtrack, he went hard for 4 Toy Story movies so far and everything, and I think he deserves credit too, because he's gave us some really great songs and stuff in the Toy Story franchise and everything, and also just an awesome score and everything that fits the tone of the movie absolutely perfectly. Yeah, I love Woody and Buzz's character arcs too. Woody has to go on a journey to realizing that he can't be the only toy in Andy's life and stuff, and he has to overcome his jealousy and learn to work with Buzz, and eventually they become really good friends with each other. And Buzz's arc is he thinks he's a space ranger and has to accept that he's a toy, and he gets really depressed when he finds out that he's a toy and has like a midlife crisis and stuff. But it's just really well written and everything, and you don't get writing like this in family movies anymore that feels really smart and well done and everything, and the character work in animated movies just don't hit the way it does nowadays, or it doesn't hit the way it did back then nowadays and everything, and it just doesn't hit like that anymore, and it just was done really well. And the side characters are great too. You got Mr. Potato Head, played by Don Rickles, who is just absolutely hilarious. John Ratzenberger as Ham is really great too. And, Jim Varney as Slinky Dog is really great too. They're all lovable characters. Wallace Shawn as Rex is one of my personal favorites. I've always really liked Rex and everything. He's just a really sensitive character, and for some reason he just reminds me of myself a lot. Always has, and maybe it's his anxiety, maybe it's just his lovableness and stuff. Like I felt like he's just a really likable character and everything, and I've come to really like Rex even more over the years and stuff for some reason. I just really love him, and he's just a mood and stuff. Like when he says I don't like confrontation, I'm like, that's so relatable. And everything. I think I've used that a few times when people are would like put me on the spot and stuff. I'd be like, I don't like confrontation. But I love all the side characters. And there's so many great moments in this movie, from the opening scene with Andy playing with the toys to him just playing with Woody around the house and stuff, and then playing You've Got a Friend in Me. Awesome opening to the movie. Absolutely love it and everything. And then the whole movie is just a lot of fun and everything. You got the Strange Things moment and everything when Woody and the toys are getting used to Buzz being around and stuff, and how things have started changing in Andy's room and everything. And then the awesome scene at the Pizza Planet and stuff when everything, and before that when they're at the gas station and Woody freaks out on Buzz and it's like, you are a toy. I absolutely love that part. Just one of the absolute funniest moments in the movie and everything. I love how he just goes off on Buzz and everything, and everything. Tom Hanks' line delivery is just perfect and everything. And then all the stuff at Sid's house is really cool. The creepy looking toys that end up being good characters and everything. Yeah, that's a good little message about not judging someone by the way they look and everything. I love that. And the whole escaping from Sid's house and showing him that toys are alive and stuff was awesome. I'm really surprised they've never played back into that. And everything. They've only had Sid have a little cameo in Toy Story 3. I'm surprised they haven't done anything else with him and everything since the movie and everything, like showing him as an adult doing a lot more and stuff. But I'm curious what they would do with Sid nowadays. But the third act is awesome. It's pretty much just big car chase sequence with Woody and Buzz trying to get to the moving truck and stuff, and eventually it ends up with them doing the rocket in one of the most awesome scenes in the history of cinema, when Woody and Buzz are flying up in the air and Buzz shoots out his wings and they start gliding down and everything, and they miss the truck, and he's like, you missed the truck, and he's like, we're not aiming for the truck, and they land in Andy's arms and stuff. It's just chef's kiss, perfect way to end the movie and everything. It's a really feel-good, happy ending and everything when Andy finally finds Woody and Buzz again, because he'd been missing them throughout most of the movie. And I just love that. Like, as a kid and stuff, one of my biggest fears was losing my favorite toys, which happened to be a Woody and Buzz doll. Everything. This movie had a huge impact on my life, and it still does to this day. And everything. I still collect Toy Story toys. I have a huge collection of them and everything. Plan on adding more to it and everything. And just this is one of the absolute best franchises. This is easily one of the best ones in the franchise, which there isn't a bad entry in. And the bar is very, very high set for Toy Story 5 for me. Like, I almost am expecting that I'm going to love it, because there hasn't been a Toy Story movie that I haven't loved and everything. These are some of my favorite movie characters of all time, and it's just a really, really great movie. It was a great way to start Pixar's legacy and everything, and it's hard to believe Pixar's only been around 30 years, and they've made some really, really great classic animated movies and everything just in that little time period. But this one is one that is really great. I will say that the animation is definitely aged and stuff. It is definitely not on the same level as even some of the other Toy Story movies, animation and stuff. But a lot of that is also just because this was the very first one too, and everything. And for being the very first one, I think it holds up pretty decently. But when you compare it to other animated movies that have came out since then, you see how animation's evolved and stuff. So it does kind of feel a little bit dated as far as the animation goes, but storytelling wise, the movie is timeless and everything. And the animation doesn't ruin the movie at all by any means. Like there are way worse movies where the animation is worse than this and everything. Like Hoodwinked, which is another movie that I think is a great movie, just the animation is not aged well and everything. And that's just something with computer animation. Sometimes it ages really well and sometimes it doesn't. And I feel like this one could have aged a lot worse, but it definitely could have aged a little bit better too. But at the same, like I said, it's not really a negative, because the movie came out 30 years ago and animation evolves and everything. So, but I wouldn't say I really have any negatives with this movie. I think this is one of the most absolute perfect movies of all time and everything. It's great. It has some of the best characters, awesome music, and just really beautiful storytelling all in all. Really awesome character arcs for lead characters, and a good message about not judging someone before you get to know them, and working together even if you don't get along at first and stuff, and giving people a chance to know them and stuff and everything. Like, it's just a really good story and everything, with a lot of good messages, a good heart, and it's just a really great, amazing movie. So I'd give Toy Story a 10 out of 10. It's easily one of the greatest movies of all time and everything, for sure. So anyway, let me know in the comments what you think of Toy Story, and I hope you enjoyed this video, and have a good day, everybody.